Hello students. So welcome to the week 3. Today we'll be talking about the table layout and the grid layout. So we have already talked about in the last week about different widgets and the linear layout. Now we will talk more about the two different layouts, which are the table layout and the grid layout. As you can understand from the when this is a view group, we can have different layouts, but at the top level we can have only one layout. Okay, so at the top level we can have only one layout. Okay, so we have already covered the linear layout. Now we talk about the table layout. The table, as you know from the name, that it's more like a tabular form where we are arranging the things in the rows and columns. We can have different images, different elements, that whatever we want to put in that particular cell, whether it is image view. Right now I just give you a simple one. So when you start with the table layout is more like we have the starting tag. This is the opening tag, this one is the closing tag. So in the opening tag we have the height and width, and then we can start adding the things at this particular specific point inside that particular table layout. Now once we have add a simple text view, that will become a one row inside that particular table layout. We can also add a table row. Now we are saying that we want to add a table row. We have added a text view, that become a row. Now we are saying we want to add a table row, and inside the table row we have enclosed two different widgets. Like first one is the image view, second one is the text view. So they will become two columns in that second row. The first column contain the image, second column contain the text view. Okay, so similarly we can have some gravity in the table row. It means that it is going to align itself to the center of the row. We can also have the weight property for these two widgets, so they will try to make the same size of each column. We can also have another table view in which we are assigning like one view, image view and the text view. And then we are also, if we look at that, we are saying that the gravity is the bottom. So definitely this particular text view, that is going on the bottom side. So if we look at that, we are saying that at the table row the gravity is bottom. It means that this particular text image, and the because image is covering the whole height of the row, so it is already aligned to the bottom, but the text is aligned itself to the bottom. So again we add another table row in which we have like first column, second column, and the third column, which is going out of the screen, but definitely when it is go out of the screen, that is not visible to the user. So this is an example of the table layout. And if you remember with the SDLT01, in which we have using the linear layout, we have developed that particular specific application in which we are showing different Pokemon and their different information about them. So what we want to do, we want to show that in a more, like if you look at that category is going up, they are not aligned itself. So I want to show in a very nice format as a table that I just shown you here. So if we, then of course we need to use the table layout to table all those things together. So how we can create that thing? So first thing is that we create a scroll view on the top side. That's a vertical scroll view, of course. Then we have a horizontal scroll view, and inside that horizontal scroll view we have each table. For it means that for each and every Pokemon, for this one Pokemon we have a scroll view, and inside the scroll view we have added that particular specific. So that is the layout for one Pokemon. Remember this thing. So again, we have a top level scroll view which help us to scroll vertically. Then we have another scroll view which is the help you for scroll left and right for information of the one Pokemon. And inside that scroll horizontal scroll view we have the table layout, and inside the table layout we have the table row. So that is the table contents. So we will talk about table row, and in that particular table row, first of all we have an image, column 1 of the row. Second column we have another table layout. Okay, so again go back. If we look at our table layout, this is our table row, and inside that particular specific table row we have put that particular specific image view, and inside the image view, after the image view we have put another table. So second column of this particular big table is again another table layout, and in that particular table layout we are putting the table row with one text view inside it. And the main thing that we need to note down here, that layout span 2, it means that it is actually covering 2 columns for the next rows. So in the next row we have a text view. Again we are saying that particular specific layout span is 2 column. Okay, so again next we are putting the table row with 2 columns inside. First text view is the title of the property or that belongs to that Pokemon, and the second text view representing the value of that particular specific property. Again we add second property, that's a category. We add the third category, which is a third property, that is the weight. And if why this particular Pokemon is moving or aligning itself to the center, so we need to remember that we are aligning it to the center. So it means that for the table layout we need to the layout gravity to the center. So we need to make sure that we are putting all those things in a proper way. So this is the what you can say, this is the layout for one Pokemon, internal horizontal scroll view. And we have a table layout inside the table layout we have a table row. In the table row, first column is the image and second column is again a table layout. So that is only a layout for one Pokemon. And similarly you can continue to have the all 5 Pokemons in that particular tabular form, and this way you can complete your table layout. So you can develop the layout for the other Pokemon to complete this layout for the 5 Pokemons. Grid layout is the older version of the table layout, but still exists in the Android Studio. So it is better that we need to learn that one as well. Maybe sometimes it's more easier to use as compared to the table layout. We have tables, rows, and all those gravities and so on, but definitely it will give you more power towards your GUI design. But grid layout is also there, and it is kind of a more simpler way to do the things or putting the things into the tabular form. In the uh, grid layout we have to tell that how many rows and columns we have. So we have 2 rows, 2 columns. Okay, so we can easily see that thing here. It is not necessary that we can only have like 2 by 2 4 elements only. We can add more elements and we will see that what will happen it. So we have created a layout, grid layout with 2 columns and 2 rows, and then we say that we are putting the image view. Another image view, it is first completing the, what you can say, it is first, it is the first element go into the first row first column, second element go into the first row and second column, the third element automatically go to the second row first column, and then the next element go to the second row second column. If we add more, it will create the third row of out of it, and the third row and first column, the next element will go over there. Now we have the orientation property of the grid layout as well. By default, the orientation is horizontal, and it will first try to cover the whole, horizontally fill the elements row wise. First row first column, first row second column, first row third column if it is there, and then the second row first column, second row second column, second row third column, third row one column, and so on. So it will first complete fill the elements inside row wise if it is the default one, horizontal orientation. If it is not, then in the vertical one, what will happen, if I just go back, the element which was added second, that is the bulbasaur here, it is come in the first row and second column. But when we change the orientation, it go into the second column but first, first second row but first column. So it is vertically filling the information. So that is the orientation part. And again, if we add one more, it will vertically fill the things instead of creating the new row. So that is the orientation part of this particular specific layout. And we can also have the column span. It means we are saying that that particular specific butter Pokemon will have the span, this particular image will span over the 2 column width. And we can also have the layout gravity, center horizontal. We can also making the column span. Here we have a row span, sorry, before that we have a column span, now we have a row span. Again, we have a vertical center, the gravity. So this particular specific item is covering the 2 rows, and we have aligned it to the center. And inside the table layout, we cannot have the row span because we don't have like column kind of a things. Inside the row we have so everything, so we don't have that particular specific row span property or row span thing. Of course, we can mitigate using the rows and the columns or the nested layouts that particular specific behavior that we have just seen, that our image view is actually having spanned on the all the rows which are present on the second column. But in terms of the properties, that particular grid layout has the row span, but in the table layout it does not have anything. So what is the next out after this particular specific layout is the constraint layout. So in the next video I will be discussing the constraint layout, how we can having all those constraints. These are the positioning constraints. So we'll be discussing the next video. Have a good day. Bye.